What's up, what's up, what's up? J3VGJ in the house. So, the only way you can really defend yourself, go up against a union, is you have to create your own unions. Okay? And a union is just a body of people who stick together to create or perform or produce a certain goal. Pretty much that's it. So, if you got the city, okay, so you're thinking this, okay, well, why do police officers even have unions? Why do we even have unions? And that's because the people who are in charge of these companies, the police station, whatever, they are pretty much not playing fair. And so you need these unions to make sure that these people play fair, or as I've said before, the only way you can these governments can properly run is you have to have participants, and if these people are not happy, then they are not going to participate, because there are a lot of city workers, and they do strike, okay, and they have a right to strike, and things like that. So you have to look at yourself, and you black people, you have to look at yourself and say, hey, who represent us? Where are our unions? Okay, what are we getting? We are people too, and I'm not just saying only black people, but I'm just addressing black people, because I'm sure white people and everyone else, they're under the same conditions too. But who am I to speak for everybody else, So anyway, the whole thing is, who will go up and voice our concerns to the government officials in such a way that how can I say that, we get the things that we desire, and then if we don't, then we want to strike, so that we can create an interruption in the system where they can't function properly without this interruption, and they will come and meet our demands, or we come to some kind of negotiations. So as a people, as a black people, we don't have that kind of union, and we need to make one. We really do need to make one. Okay, how do you go about making this? It's pretty much, you have to create a situation where your services are needed, where your services are important. If we are making $1.1 trillion as a nation, which is more than Australia, probably Mexico, Canada, we are up there as a nation. We are producing, or at least spending, a lot of money. Okay, so we are a nation. Okay, and we're a nation inside of another nation, financially speaking, and by the numbers too. So we need to organize in such a way where we don't have to go out there and march. We need to get some people to represent us, pay them, and then have them do what we need for us to we need them to do the things that we want done. Now you got the NCAA, NCAA, and all those, but those were all created by white people. Okay, a lot of these groups, a lot of them weren't, but a lot of them are, and then the ones who probably aren't, I don't know who, what they're doing, exactly, I don't know. And I'm not saying they're not doing anything, because there are a lot of people out there who are doing well. But what I'm saying is, what are they doing as a group to help the whole? Okay, what are they doing to help the whole? Now, I don't want to start getting into saying that they're not doing anything and they're not doing their job, because the main job is pretty much going to have to start with us. And it kind of reminds me of this story about the what is it called? The Temple of Babel, where God says these people are working together, and if I don't go down there and destroy their language or whatever, then they're going to be able to build whatever to heaven. And I don't know if this was a real story or whatever, but to me it sounds like a one of those, these what are them things they have, one of these things, these inspiration type of a speech saying that at one time people work together, or basically saying if you work together you can build together, and no one can stop you. Only one that can stop you is God. Okay, and this is true. We have to work together, but I think what it is people don't know how to work together because they don't know how to work by themselves, because they don't really know what they want, because they're not thinking properly. And that's why I keep going back to the images and the equations and things like that, because that's what most of us we're doing, and it's just harming us. It really is. It really is. It really is harming us. The representation that we need is very simple. Okay, very simple. We need peace. We want peace. We want to educate our kids. We want to feed. We want to grow. We want to be able to expand. Okay, and that's what we want to do. But everyone else in the world want to expand, and they want to do this. Everybody property grabbing and land grabbing and doing this and doing that. But the whole point is, there's a lot of land, and when you're grabbing this land, what are you doing to keep it? You got to populate, bring these kids into the world. For what reason? To maintain somebody's image or somebody's fantasy of God or them being special and things like that. You know, I want to address something real quick because it just popped in my mind, and I'm going to try to keep it on the same point. The images are very important. Words are very important also, but words create actions, productions. Words does things to people. Okay, when someone calls you black and you're ugly, the first thing you should do is say, well, let's look at each other under ultraviolet light. And everyone and white people under ultraviolet light, or Asian people, whoever, their skin is not going to appear the way it is. The sun does not look at them as though they think it does. Okay, it does not. Okay, it will not. That's not how it operates and stuff like that. Okay, so there's this video, I'm going to put the link in. It's called How the Sun Sees Us, and it's really interesting. It's really interesting. Basically, it shows white people, Asian people, black people under the ultraviolet light. White people got black spots on them. Asian people do too. Some people that are like mixed, you know, they got the black blood in them. But let's say Latino people. There's one kid, he goes under there and he's white, alright, but under the ultraviolet light he looks black. They got people with ultraviolet transparent sunglasses, but the sunglasses are under the ultraviolet light. The transparency is gone, is black. Then they did it with people putting on ultraviolet suntan lotion. People put it on their face, and they put it on there. And guess what color the suntan lotion is? It's black. So basically, what people are doing, what white people are doing, and people with who don't have black skin, what they're doing is just pretty much blackfacing themselves, their whole bodies, everything, because the sun looks at you, and when it looks at you, it sees black, and black is very important. It's the makeup, because of the energy that the sun puts out. There actually is a reaction, okay, and this reaction is very, very important. Ooh, I'm going the wrong way. Gosh, I didn't want to go this way. But I guess I have to. Okay, oops. Okay, anyway, the whole video just says one thing. When you're out in the sun, you need to have black skin. Now, they said that you have all skin is beautiful, and they're not making a racist thing or anything, but you could just pretty much look at the video and see that everyone is pretty much out. There you are for your women. Guy out there, pretty buff too. But anyway, And I'm surprised you can jog with no shirts on, because people say in Japan you can't do that. But anyway, basically the video is saying that if you want to keep your healthy skin and you want to protect it, you have to cover it in blackness. Okay, you have to cover it, because if you don't, the sun is going to damage your skin. And that's it. And it's really interesting. It really is interesting. And if you were to show that video, and it was interesting because the people that saw the video, they first saw themselves without it, and they were like, wow, they're really surprised because they're black. You know, they thinking they white, whatever, but cool. But they're black. Then they put these people on there, you know, that you would think that they would have an attitude and everything, you know, because you just judge it by images, by the way they look and stuff, you know. And they put on the what is it called? The suntan lotion on their body, on their faces, and they look at themselves and they're black. And you can tell that they're really looking. I got this other video called The Hypnotism of Black. And what they're doing is they're looking at their skin. And what was so great about black is it absorbs everything. And it absorbs your vision. It absorbs your view. It'll make you just look at things and just look at things and just look at it and look at it. And it's hard to break out of it. And it was this one guy, probably, I think they're all in New York. And if you probably would have saw him, you know, he's seen a typical handsome white guy, you know, that all white women would chase after, whatever. And he put it on his face, and he's black, and he looked at his face, and the dude fell in love with the blackness of his face. You just could tell by the skin, by his smile. He was like, he was like, damn, I look good. I like this, you know. And I think in the video, or maybe it was in the transcripts, I'm seeing you the article too, that people liked it. People liked their color, the blackness of their skin. They liked it. They liked the way it looked, and actually they did look better. And I'm not saying that they were ugly or anything, but like I said, the blackness really calms you down. You know, it really absorbs you, brings you into the fold, relaxes you. It really does. And I bet if those people could keep that color, they would do it. And not even, I'm sure they wouldn't even do it because it's for the health of their skin. They would just do it because simply it looks more attractive. And that's just a state of truth. Okay, it just did. And I looked at them all and I was like, wow. And so all those people are very affected by that. So that's what I'm saying, by when we're talking, whatever you're doing things with the equations, and you're doing things with imagination. If you have the equation, if you knew for a fact that ultraviolet was really black, that you're putting on your face when the sun hits it, and when it sees you, that it is black. And if you knew that you're black facing yourself, black bodying yourself, then how would it make you feel? How would it make you feel? What would it change about your whole ideology about black people and white people, and having white skin and black skin and things like that? Because what's going to happen is, when those people saw that blackness, when they saw that, I guarantee all the white supremacy in their minds just died, just disappeared, just like that, just disappear. All of them looked at themselves thinking they cool, and they saw what they looked like, and they were black, and they were like, oh my goodness. And you can see them, they're like, oh my God, wow, really shocked. So that's what I'm saying, black people. What you need to do is you need to get in those books. You need to understand that stuff. Don't live your life based on an illusion. If it's real, they will have an equation to it. When you have equations, you can build with it because they're solid. If you have an illusion, then you have to build something to hold up that illusion. But you can't build an illusion. You can only think of an illusion, something that's not real, but you can't.